Yo, it's me, CSCOTT, baby. Here with another KEANUVERSE review. This is now the third time I've tried to record this. The first time I messed up because of flatulence, and I didn't want that on in a review. I'm trying to be, respectful, and you don't want to hear that in a review. I'm sorry. I know I've burped a few times. I try not to do that, but and then I forgot to put my phone on vibrate, so my ringtone rang through. I don't want to get copyright, so I had to restart the video again for a third time. So here we are in the KEANUVERSE once again, and this time is Bram Stoker's Dracula. And now that I've got the thing up, I can pronounce the names. I was pronouncing one name wrong. So, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be comparing this to the 1931 classic film Dracula starring Bela Lugosi, because I have only watched it first time a year ago. For the first time a year ago I watched it. Having only watched it for the first time 1 year ago, almost a year ago, it was in October, and it's become one of my favorite vampire movies of all time. So I'm going to compare it a lot, because there's a lot of things that I was comparing to. So, I'm kind of glad I had to redo this, because I forgot the line. I mentioned earlier in my first part of the review, first take of the review I forgot. Okay. So this one starts out differently, and then I know this isn't from the book because I watched another review about this, and then kind of got me in my head where I'm going to go with this. So they gives Dracula a backstory where he's out fighting war, and his wife at the time, Elisabetta, believes that he has died in battle, so she commits suicide, only for Dracula to then come home and find his wife dead. So then we jump forward to 1897. 90 years before I was born. Yay. No, wait. 100 years. Maybe it's either 90 or 110 years before I was born. Probably 110. Because now I think about 1907 would have been 80 years. No, maybe it was 90. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to say that. And we jump to 1897. Yeah, not 90, because we're going... Okay, it was 90. Okay, sorry. We jump forward to 1897, in which, now Dracula has, Jonathan Harker, played by Keanu Reeves. In the original, it was Renfield, and they do establish there's a Renfield. He's locked away in that house, much as he was in the original. Unlike the original, he doesn't keep getting out, and there's no Martin. I don't see a Martin. But in the original, there was an attendant specifically for Renfield. His name was Martin, and he kept, how do you keep getting out of here? And Renfield was the funniest parts of the original. And in my first take of the review, I shared a story, but I think I'll wait till, because I'm going to review the original Dracula from 1991. I'll save that for that review, because that even as I was saying it before, I'm thinking, I should put that in that review, not this one. So I'll share that story in the original Dracula review, which I'll be doing sometime in October. I went to a bunch of horror reviews in October, so looking for those. So, it's Jonathan Harker this time who has to go to Castle Dracula in Transylvania to talk to Dracula, and he has the dinner scene, and there's a line I forgot to mention last time. It's a line that was in the original, and there was a couple lines I remember from the original. There's only one I can remember right now, and that's when Harker's at the table. In the original, it was Harker's at the dinner table. Originally it was Renfield. He comes in and he says, "Pardon me for not partaking in this meal. I have already dined. And I never drink wine." That's the line from the original. "I never drink wine." And as soon as he said it, he's like, "I never drink," and I'm like, "Wine." And then he said, "Wine." I'm like, I remember that line. I love that line. It's one of my favorite lines. "I never drink wine." I thought it was cool. I can't remember the other line. Is it in the synopsis or something? I don't know. Probably not. No. So, Dracula comes to London. He leaves Harker behind with his 3 wives. And I don't remember, did I say in this one? Maybe it was the last one I was going on about it, but it doesn't make sense. And the aforementioned backstory wasn't in the book. So, for him to have 3 vampire wives, like in the original and in the book, but according to his backstory, the only woman he ever wanted was Elisabetta, and who looks just like Mina. So why would he have 3 vampire wives? It wouldn't make sense. He wouldn't want them. And in this movie, he still goes after Lucy like in the original, and that still doesn't make any sense because, well, he's basically feeding on her, basically. And I don't remember what happens. I can look in the thing, but like, yeah. So let's talk about Van Helsing. Abraham Van Helsing in the original was played by Edward Van Sloan. In this version, is played by Sir Anthony Hopkins, and he's also the narrator, by the way. And he does a pretty good job. In fact, during his introduction, which is about the same introduction as I believe, he's in a classroom. Or no, never mind. That was the character in Frankenstein. Edward Van Sloan's character in Frankenstein was in the classroom. That's where they get the brain. So, no, never mind that. He's in a class, or no, he's in his lab or something. He's talking to someone. And with the voice that he does, you can almost hear Edward Van Sloan's voice through Anthony Hopkins. That's how close it is. He's talking a little bit like this. You know? Kind of like this. Maybe not. I don't know. Am I doing it right? I don't know. I sound more Italian than anything. But, so eventually when they, after he bites Lucy, and you actually see the transformations. In the original 1931 version, you don't, because, the effects back then weren't that good. But in this version, you see him, he turns into like a werewolf. There's a scene where they're telling him, keep the light, as he goes in the darkness, and as the light shines, he turns into a bunch of rats. That's pretty cool, You actually see the transformations, which is cool. Although, the look of Dracula, like when they first show him, he's this old man. You got this white bun, kind of funny looking. And then when he becomes young, he has the long hair and the beard. By the way, Dracula is played by Garrett Oldman, in case you didn't know. And Winona Ryder plays Mina Harker. I think I said that, but it's just different. And let's talk about Keanu Reeves, because some people say his English accent is weird. I've already talked about this. I'm trying to go over what I've already said in the other one. I don't know if I already said it again in this one. So if I said it again, I'm sorry. But some people said his English accent isn't the best. I never noticed it, except for in one clip I've seen already before where he says, Carfax Abel. And that's like, he says it like twice in this movie, and the first time he says it is normal, Carfax Abel. And then like, it says like a Carfax Abel. It's like, what, did he go a little eccentric for that second take or what? But other than that, I didn't see any problem with his accent. He's a typical American actor trying to do an English accent. Sometimes you can't get it right. I'm not going to harp on him, you know what I mean? So anyway, Dracula goes after Lucy. And the original, I don't know if it's like food or... Actually, I got this up. Let me look. Lucy Westenra. What? I think that's wrong. It's okay. In the original, it wasn't Lucy Westenra. It was something else. Maybe those are different names. I don't know. But with Holmst, Mina is staying with while Jonathan is in Transylvania. Lucy's deteriorating health and behavior changes. Her former suitor. Yeah, by the way, Lucy's a slut. She's like courting 3 men at the same time, which back then, okay, recognize Lucy's victim empire. Okay, that's another thing. Comparing him to Edward Van Sloan. There's a scene in which she begs, is it Art, I think, to come to her, and then she's gonna bite him. It's not till when she's very close to biting him that Van Helsing pulls him away. Whereas in the original, Edward Van Sloan's Van Helsing would never let him go near her to begin with. He was so sure what was going on, he would take every precaution before anything would ever happen. She'd be locked away in the room without anyone to get to her, and no one would be allowed to even talk to her because he'd know she would try to do something like that. So yeah, that's, I'm not saying, it's how they write them, which is good. And I'm not bashing this movie. I really enjoyed this movie. I freaking love this movie. This is the first time I've watched this movie. I know. But this came out in 1992, right? Yeah, 1992. I was 5, okay? I was 5 years old when this came out originally. So stay off me. I'm still trying to get to some movies from when I was younger, some horror movies I wasn't allowed to watch. Alright? But this movie is good. So after with Lucy, I believe, I know I'm cheating, but it's hard to follow sometimes. Carfax Abbey. Soil. Okay, so that explains why he has to go back to Transylvania, because they destroy the boxes of soil, which is what he needed to bury himself in. They destroy it. Like I said, I was cooking during some of this. Okay, so they killed her. Okay, yeah. They Van Helsing, Homewood, Seward, and Morris kill the undead Lucy. Alright. Eventually, Jonathan comes back. Mina must go to Transylvania, Romania. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. There was a part, like I said. I was cooking. Okay? She travels to Romania to marry Jonathan. That's why when she introduces herself to him, to Dracula at first, she said her name is Wilhelmina Murray. And then all of a sudden later, she's saying she's married. I'm like, when did that happen? When I was cooking dinner. I'm so sorry. I was hungry. I had to eat dinner. Okay? Okay. So anyway, let's get to the climax real quick. They get to Romania. Well, actually, I gotta go back a little bit because Dracula then seduces Mina. It's not Bela Lugosi's eyes, but he's got some kind of thing going on, and he makes her drink his blood, like he cuts under his nipple or whatever, and bleeds out, and she drinks it. Okay, let's talk about it. The vampire thing here, it's very erotic in this version. Like with Lucy, she's like going, when he's beckoning her, she's going all crazy. She's moving her top, her breasts are coming out and everything. And, it's sort of like that with Winona Ryder, but I understand, some people don't want to show it, and that's fine. That's fine, it's perfectly fine. What you want to show, what you don't want to show, that's fine. That's fine. Maybe that wasn't even written for her to show it. Who knows? That's perfectly fine. I'm not judging anyone. But I'm just saying, the Lucy thing, going, woo! wasn't expecting it. I know they showed earlier that Dracula's brides, where they were all over Harker, were like naked or whatever, but also something I never thought of. You see Dracula's pee-pee for a second, and I was like, I want to see that. It's like in the shadow, but it's like, no, thank you. Anyway, where were they at? I got sidetracked by breasts, but so she's like, Mina she wants Dracula, and unlike in the original, it's not Van Helsing that kills Dracula, and he's not staked with a wooden stake either. It's Harker with this blade, a dagger, Morris is dead. Jonathan slits his throat while the wounded Morris stabs him in the heart. Morris stabs him in the heart with a Bowie knife. Okay. Because I didn't know what that was. And it ends with Mina still under his trance, moving him into the Castle Dracula. And it ends. Well, the original ended kind of quick too, where you had Van Helsing staking Dracula and then telling Mina and Jonathan to leave, and then it ends. And I think it was picked up by Dracula's daughter, but that it just ends. So maybe they were paying tribute to that, which just ends immediately. But it's not really a satisfying ending because Jonathan and Mina don't get back together. Mina's still under his trance, but Dracula looks like he's pretty much almost dead. He's gonna die. So where did that leave her? Did she become the female Dracula? I don't know. But even though I had a little bit of problems with some of this stuff, I really did enjoy it. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Go find a way to watch this. I watched this on Crackle, by the way. And I don't know if I said this or not, but when I watched The Last Time I Committed Suicide, the movie Last Time I Committed Suicide, I guess that's right. When I watched that was on Tubi TV. Just in case you want to find these movies. But Bram Stoker's Dracula, if you don't already have it, is on Crackle. So, you want to watch it there. There was ads, but it was still pretty good. 8 out of 10 for me. So what are your thoughts on Bram Stoker's Dracula? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe. And until then, I will see you next time. Remember, I never drink wine.